I am going to look back at this video and I am going to be so excited I made it. This is video number 50 on my YouTube journey, and let's jump into why it is that I wanted to make this video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Bennett Schwartz. I'm a high performance coach and I help people live a both richer personal and professional life. If you're looking to live a richer life, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Ever since I started my social media journey, I was always trying to figure out which platform I wanted to use the most. And I started with Instagram and Facebook. I went over to Twitter, did a bunch of LinkedIn, and even some TikTok. But I find myself being obsessed with YouTube, and I'm going to break down the 5 different reasons about why I chose YouTube, some tips and tricks that you can start to use that really helped me get started. So the first topic we're going to talk about is why did I specifically choose YouTube versus all other platforms? So you see, YouTube has its advantages. If somebody makes a shorter version of a clip and they put it on Instagram or TikTok, what ends up happening is that it only has the availability of being seen for the next couple of hours on the feed because there's constantly so much more that's being posted. Of course, you can go to somebody's page and see the other content that they've been putting out, but YouTube is a special platform because people are constantly Googling things, and because Google and YouTube are connected as one, the algorithm really helps YouTube videos. So there's a video that you could have put out months ago, and because of something happening in the world or the economy, it all of a sudden gets picked up months or years later. When people come to YouTube, they're usually coming to search for something, a specific problem and a solution to a question that they have. If we can start putting out our content and putting it in a way that people who are looking for the answers could find out the answers, so our content is always going to be relevant for people even if they're looking at it months in advance. The second topic I want to talk about is how I actually learned about YouTube. You see, I took a course on YouTube from Ali Abdal. He has a course called the Part-Time YouTube Academy. He really breaks down in so many videos what it is that you need to do in order to get started on YouTube. He has more advanced courses if you're really looking to take it to a full-time profession, but it was really beneficial in terms of just learning certain keys to really help you be able to move faster along your journey. A lot of the questions I had, he answered in that course, and he really just gave me a framework in terms of what I could follow and the belief that I could become a YouTuber. The second place was a book called YouTube Secrets by Sean Cannell and Benji Travis, and their book was also really beneficial. It broke down different ways in terms of how to monetize your YouTube. It really just gave you a lot of different tips and tricks in terms of what it is you could do. I always thought it was beneficial to get different angles because sometimes people have different strategies and there's not necessarily one that's going to work for everybody, but you have to pick out what's going to work for you. So really getting a different perspective was really beneficial. I know they have a course that they sell also. I just didn't take it because all these really did the job for me. And the third place is really just YouTube. I started YouTubing different videos in terms of what I could do in order to increase my views and subscribers. What I found is that there's so much content out there that can really help you do that. Of course, there's so much around in terms of picking the specific niche that you want and the style of video you want. At the end of the day, if you can start to make a vision board about the videos that you like to watch, you'll be able to start to see some themes that really go throughout. The third topic is going to be, what about the content? How do I come up with my ideas? So that really goes back to why I'm making a YouTube channel in the first place. You see, there's 2 main reasons about why I wanted to make a YouTube channel. Number 1 is I wanted to really spread the ideas that I have. I think throughout my life and throughout the education that I've had, I've certain experiences that a lot of people might be able to relate to. And what I tried doing is I tried to really give practical tips in terms of what it is somebody can start to do in order to really increase their own personal development. I'm obsessed with working on myself, and I think the tools that I've learned, I think that there are a few people out there who might be able to benefit from that. The second thing is really in terms of the marketing and the branding of my company. I know that if I want to be able to take things to the next level, I'm going to have some type of following of people who are interested in the same things that I'm interested in. And if I could pick one platform like YouTube, that could be something that can really help me down the line. I do understand that it's going to be a long-term play, but at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it. As Jim Rohn said, and how I always quote, 6 years ago, I wish I probably would have started my YouTube video. So I don't want to start to wish that I started it in another 6 years from now. So how do I create my content? So throughout my day, I'm constantly listening to different things. I'm constantly reading different books or just having conversations with different people. And I start to pick up and notice different issues that come up, or maybe even a certain idea that I really like. And by picking those ideas and really just putting them down in my notes in my phone, I end up starting to come up with different ideas. Every day I go live in different platforms, and I use that as really a practice run in terms of what I want to be saying for my YouTube content. And to really just start to talk out the different ideas that I want. A lot of YouTubers say that you should be going through your industry and seeing what other topics people are speaking about, so your video could sort of tag along and get more views, which I think is something that's really important. But I think down the line, I want to be doing what I want to be doing and speaking about what I want to be speaking about, because that's going to give me the longevity of really being able to speak about the stuff that I'm interested in. If you you've watched any YouTuber speak about titles and thumbnails, it's probably one of the most important pieces to your video. So constantly being a learner and trying to see what's working and what's not working could really help you in terms of increasing your engagement and your views. At the end of the day, YouTube's a business and they just want more people to stay on the site. So if you could make your stuff more engaging and more hooky, but allow people to watch your stuff and to stay on the site even longer. And guess what? You get rewarded because then your stuff gets promoted to those types of people. The fourth topic we'll talk about is really just being on camera. You see, if you know me personally, I'm more of an introvert and a lot of people get shocked by that. But what's even more interesting is that in high school, my friends started making videos and I was never the guy who was in the video. I remember the first time they asked me to be in and I was so excited, and it took me like 30 times to get one line right. I started laughing, I just couldn't remember the line, I didn't say it with the right tone. And one of the things I started to realize, and it always upset me because I always thought I knew I could do it. But over time, and as I started to get more comfortable, I started to really get more confident in speaking on camera, especially on YouTube where I can make a whole long video and edit the way that I want it to be. You'll see that I mess up so much behind the scenes. But I think the biggest thing is really getting that confidence. And the way you get that confidence is by practicing. And it's one of the reasons why I also started doing those lives every day. Because if I could go on camera every single day and talk about a topic for 15 or 20 minutes, that's only going to help me be able to move forward. There's so much to do with public speaking, whether it's your hand motions, whether it's your tone, whether it's your pace, speaking faster or slower. But if we could start to understand that if we could just work on one skill at a time, that could be the thing that helps us overall in the long run. So before every video, I try figuring out one thing that I could start to work on that I know will only enhance my video. And then the fifth and final tip is how much does it cost? So at the end of the day, when I first started, I started out with my iPhone. I didn't really want to do the editing from the beginning, and I knew that was something that I totally wanted to offload early on. Ali Abdal even says he wished he would have done it months or years earlier.
God, this is taking up so much of my time. And then I read this book and one of my mentors talked me into actually trying to outsource my editing. And then I outsourced my editing and then oh my God, my life completely changed.
Because the amount of time that it takes to edit a video takes a really long time. I knew that if I wanted to stay in this in the long run, that's going to be the first thing I'm going to need to offload. You can find so many great editors out there, and all you have to do is really just do your due diligence and see who the good ones are and who the bad ones are. I also have a virtual assistant who's more just watching the metrics and really posting the videos on YouTube. But then again, you could probably do it yourself and watch a YouTube video or two to allow yourself to make that happen. I would say each video costs me about $100. And as I grow, I'm going to start to get better cameras, better lighting, better microphones to really start to enhance the videos. So there you have it. Right now, as I make this video, we have a little over 400 subscribers. And I know in a couple of years from now, we're going to be having a lot more than that. So I am so grateful that I made this video because I think so many times we look at the people who made it and we don't know where they started from. We don't know what they were going through. And yes, there are times where I'm not in the mood to make a video or having writer's block and I just don't know what to speak about. But then again, I know that if I continue moving forward and not judge myself on an individual video, but overall, if I could just get in my numbers and I'm looking to get out, that could be something that could be really, really beneficial to me in order to make things moving down the line. So what are your YouTube goals? What are some more questions you might have for me? Are you a beginner? Are you a veteran? Are you just getting started and you have any more questions? Or maybe you're ahead of me and you want to give me some advice. Looking to share on this journey with you. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, make sure to take a look at this next one.